Hello, class 12 students. Now, I hope yesterday you have solved certain numericals of colligative properties. Today, we are going to study one very important aspect of the chapter, that is abnormal molecular mass. So, first, let us try to understand the meaning of abnormal. Abnormal means which is not according to the expectation. As we all know कि when we have to calculate molecular mass using the formula for colligative properties, we just expect that mass of one molecule will be calculated using the formula. So if you are using sodium chloride, for example, the mass should come almost equal to mass of sodium plus mass of chlorine, that comes 58.5. But when we apply colligative properties formula, generally mass of sodium chloride appears to be just half of that, or somewhere around 30. The problem arises why molecular mass of a particle which is much heavy coming out to be lesser on calculation, or the other way it happens that we have dissolved one substance, and when we are calculating, molecular mass comes out to be a lot more higher or greater than the expected one. This only is called abnormal behavior. Now let us try to understand with one example. Suppose we have dissolved 100 particles of one substance, and these particles undergo dissociation. So now what will happen is, on dissolving 100 particles and they are getting dissociated, if all are breaking into two, then total number of active particles becomes just the double. So we have dissolved 100 particles and active particles are 200 now, because each particle has divided into two. So our colligative properties are the properties which are affected by number of particles and not by mass of the solute or molar mass of the solute. So since number of particle increases, value of colligative property also changes, and when we calculate the molecular mass, this molecular mass is just half of the particle which we have dissolved. So you can easily understand it by the equation. So when we calculate the molecular mass, if particle is getting dissociated into two, calculated molecular mass will be half. Now let us try to understand the same for the association. Here also we are starting with the 100 particles dissolved, but now what happens is each two particles get associated to form a dimer. That is, two particles collectively behave as a single unit. So now number of our active particles has reduced to half of it. Now when we calculate the molecular mass, it will be just double of what is expected. Initially each particle was individual unit, but on dissolving it has formed a unit which is much more heavier, and that is why molecular mass comes out to be greater, or we can say double in this case. So this behavior only is called abnormal molecular mass. Next we have to study how this abnormal molecular mass affects the colligative properties. Yes, so when we have to study effect of abnormal behavior of solute on colligative properties, as we are already studying, colligative properties are affected by number of particles only. So if particles are doubled in the solution, value of colligative properties also double up. Now this we can understand with the help of one example. Suppose we are studying elevation and boiling point of a given substance, and here we have taken glucose solution which is having molality is equal to 1. So maybe for it boiling point elevation is calculated to be 2 Kelvin. Now glucose does not get dissociate or associate in water, so there will be no change in the colligative property or elevation of boiling point. But if at the same time we are dissolving 1 mole of sodium chloride in 1 kg of water, that is molality is maintained 1. Now when we calculate elevation and boiling point, it appears to be just double, maybe 4 Kelvin. What was expected to be 2 Kelvin, since molality was same in both the case, it is now appearing to be 4 Kelvin. So why this twofold increase in the colligative property has been observed? Just because sodium chloride gets dissociated and forms just double the particles, and almost all the particles get dissociated. We can say degree of dissociation is 100%. So since number of particles increases or doubles, value of colligative property also increases. So that is how there is effect of association or dissociation of a substance on colligative property. Now if we are going to study about association, now what happens is, we have taken an example of acetic acid. So what happens, acetic acid forms a dimer in benzene. Whatever be number of particles dissolved, active particles are just half of it. So value of colligative properties also come out to be half of the expected value. Now, for example, if there was expected depression in freezing point 0.5 Kelvin, then observed depression, okay, what we are observing experimentally, that comes just half of it, that is 0.25 Kelvin. So that is because number of particles is getting halved. So we can say it is directly proportional to colligative property. Now want of factor just tells us the ratio between the observed value and the calculated value of colligative property. So this ratio only is known as the term Van 't Hoff factor, which is to be included in all the formula. So we can write I is equal to observed value of colligative property divided by calculated value of colligative property. Now if we are seeing association, you can see value of colligative property will be less than 1 for observed. So if I is less than 1, we can say substance is undergoing association, and if I is greater than 1, substance must be undergoing dissociation. So we have seen in the first case, observed value was double the calculated value, so I was 2, dissociation was going on, and in the second case, if you find want of factor, it will come out to be 0.5, 0.25 divided by 0.5, that will be coming 1 by 2 or 0.5. This is less than 1. It means the substance which we have dissolved is undergoing association. So this is how we can predict the molecular state of a solute in the given liquid or solution. Next, we have to study how association or dissociation affects the colligative properties if it is not going on in the whole of the mass dissolved. Now this is called partial association or dissociation. Partial means only a part of the substance under observation is undergoing the process. Now first let us just imagine that degree of association for a given substance is alpha. Now what is degree of association? It is fraction of molecules undergoing association. Now fraction, you know, the part of one whole substance. If you have dissolved 100 particles and out of that only 20 particles are undergoing association, then degree of association will be 20 by 100, that is 20%. So this is represented by alpha. Since we have to start with the fraction, so we are just imagining initially we have taken one molecule and out of that alpha is undergoing association. Now the next part which is important is how many particles are collecting together to give you a single unit. Now in the example given, we are seeing that on association it is A2 which is being formed. It means two particles are joining together to give you one particle. So this number of particles which are combining, this is represented by the term n. So in this case n is equal to 2. Now if there would be 3 particles combining together to form a trimer, in that case value of n will be 3. So now total active particles will be whatever we have dissolved less what has undergoing association plus how many are formed after association. So one particle we had dissolved, alpha was undergoing association, and so this has to be reduced, and after association alpha by 2 are formed. So total number of particles becomes 1 minus alpha plus alpha by 2. Now here 2 is the specific number in this case, but if we have to generalize the thing, we can take n. N is the number which is telling you how many particles are coming together to form one collection, or it is forming dimer, trimer or tetramer, whatever it can be. You can use it to be n. Now using this formula, if we want to find want of factor I is ratio of active particles over dissolved particles. So active particles are now 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n, that becomes total part, or that gives you the value of want of factor since dissolved particles were 1 only. If particles vary, the ratio will give you value of want of factor. So in this case we can imagine value of want of factor will definitely come out to be less than 1. Now this also we can understand with the help of an example. Now suppose a substance is forming trimer. Now for that value of n is equal to 3 and degree of dissociation is 40%. Now we see when it is percent, it is part of 100. So 40% is represented as 40 by 100. So now if we want to calculate value of I, it becomes 1 minus alpha, that is 40 by 100 plus alpha by n. So alpha was 40 by 100 and value of n was 3. So total sum comes out to be 0.733. So value of I is 0.733. It means it is less than 1. So by knowing the value of I, we can easily predict that association is being carried out in the substance. Next, we have to study the same process for degree of dissociation. Now here what you see is, if alpha is again degree of dissociation, fraction of total molecules which were undergoing dissociation, and only two particles are formed as a result of dissociation. Now if alpha is taken 30%, then according to the equation given, A2 on dissolving converts into 2A. 2A means two individual particles are being created. A2 means two particles were associated together, so they were behaving as a single unit. But the moment it is 2A, it is behaving as two different units. So in this case, again, one particle taken, alpha was degree of association, and 2 alpha was number of particles formed. So here what we can say, n was equal to 2. This may vary again if there is one substance which gives you more than 2 particles, that will vary value of n accordingly. Now, total number of active particles after dissociation, we have taken 1. Alpha were dissociated, so remaining is 1 minus alpha, and 2 alpha is formed after dissociation, so that should be adding to the total number. So total number of particles becomes 1 minus alpha plus 2 alpha. Now want of factor is simply the ratio between active and dissolved, so that will give you 1 minus alpha plus n alpha. Now using all the values given, if we calculate number of particles, so that will always be coming out more than 1. So this we can understand by using the formula. Now using want of factor, our new set of colligative property formula becomes somewhat modified. Like for the first formula, it was relative lowering of vapor pressure, that was equal to mole fraction of solute. Now mole fraction of solute will remain at its place, only the thing is want of factor will be multiplied to the mole fraction of solute. So now your formula will become P naught minus Vs upon P naught is equal to I into Nb upon Na plus Nb. Same way, osmotic pressure formula, pi will be written as ICRT. It means want of factor I has to be taken into consideration in all the cases. Delta TB is equal to I Kb into molality, that will remain the same. And for freezing point also, you will incorporate value of want of factor in the formula. Now this should be mandatory in all the cases, as at times we don't pay attention to the number of particles being associated or dissociated, and since value of I is not known or it is not incorporated in the formula, our calculations may go wrong. So just make it a habit how you can calculate I, and if alpha is given using the formula discussed earlier, you can calculate alpha first and then you calculate the want of factor. So this was all about the chapter. Please go through all these factors very carefully and pay attention while solving the numericals, because in board exams you definitely get at least 3 to 4 mark numericals dedicated to this chapter, and total weightage of the chapter solution is also very high. It may get 5 to 6 marks weightage, including some reasonings. So let us practice it very strongly and it is suggestible to calculate till correct answer has been obtained. Please do not just imagine to substitute the values and we will get the answer attitude. Get your answers, use your calculator, because in these calculations, calculator plays a very important role. If you do not feed the correct values in calculator, you may be committing very silly mistakes which are not expected to be done, especially when you're talking about your board paper. So if you keep practicing, there are certain minute things which you will be able to understand, how to use different values, how to use powers, and how to modify the formula. So class 12, please go through the chapter, practice all the numericals, and you can always ask your doubts on the WhatsApp group. Thanks for watching.